It's been 5 years since Uju graduated from the university and she has not been able to find a job. Not that she had not been working, but mostly she could only find menial jobs that paid her pennies. One of the jobs even paid her as little as 15,000. There was even a time she worked at a nursery school as a teacher, collecting only 10,000 monthly. The last job she did was working as a waitress in a hotel. Her salary was 20,000 naira monthly. The money was not enough, but she was just using the job to pass time. Uju was desperate and she was ready to do anything to save herself from poverty. It was while working at the hotel that Uju met Madam Philo, a rich woman who always came to the hospital to spend money as if she had a machine that printed cash for her. One evening, Madam Philo was with her friend at the hotel and they were talking about their next journey to Italy. They were talking about how they would like to recruit more ladies who would travel with them and earn money like them. They were bragging about the number of ladies they had taken to Italy. Madam Philo made it clear that she would like to help more women be rich like her. I'm very passionate about helping young women travel abroad and make money like me. There's no money in this Nigeria. Italy is the best place for young women to live. I help as many people as possible, Madam Philo said. Meanwhile, Uju was eavesdropping on what Madam Philo was saying as she served them drinks and food that evening. She was so curious. She wanted to know if Madam Philo could also help her travel abroad and make money, but she decided to wait for a perfect moment. Let me wait until she's about to leave, then I will ask her privately, Uju said in her heart. As she walked that night, she paid close attention to see when Madam Philo would leave the hotel. She barely concentrated on her job and she kept an eye on the woman. Soon, Madam Philo stood up to leave after she and her friend had finished eating. Uju rushed from where she was sitting and followed Madam Philo to her car. Good evening, ma. Please, I wanted to speak with you earlier, but I decided not to disturb you because you were eating. I overheard you saying you help ladies travel to Italy to make money. Please, ma, I'm interested. I've suffered so much in Nigeria. Since I graduated from school, I've been jumping from one small job to the other. The money I earn is small. It can't even take care of me, not to talk of helping my parents and siblings. I spend my salary even before collecting it. I've even finished spending the one for this month because I owe a lot of debts. A young woman like me can't take good care of myself with this kind of salary. Please, ma, help me. If you take me to Italy, I promise you'll not regret it. Even if it means paying you back everything you will spend. I will do it once you take me to Italy and I start working and earning money. Please, if you want me to follow you this night, I will follow you, Uju said. She sounded very desperate. Alright, I will help you. I like young women who are passionate like you. Get into the car. Let's go to my house. We can talk better, Madam Philo said as they drove off. That was how Uju closed from work that day and resigned from her job because she never came back to the hotel. That night, when they got to Madam Philo's house, Uju was surprised when she saw the beautiful mansion the woman had built. Wow, are you the owner of this house? I can't wait to build a house like you, Uju said as they entered Madam Philo's living room. You are right. Once you get to Italy, I assure you that you'll be able to build your own house within 6 months. Within a short time, you'll start making money. All you have to do is obey me and do exactly as I say. Money will never be your problem again. We are traveling tomorrow morning. You're not going back to your parents' house. Call them on phone and tell them you have found someone to take you to Italy for free. You're an adult. You don't have to take permission from them, Madam Philo told Uju. That night, Uju was served fried rice and chicken. She slept in an air-conditioned room. She enjoyed herself and couldn't wait for daybreak so she would travel to Italy with Madam Philo. She slept peacefully with joy in her heart. Around 5 a.m. the next morning, Madam Philo woke up and called all the ladies into the living room. It's time to move, Madam Philo said. There were 5 ladies who were to travel to Italy with her on that day. All of them, including Uju, entered a waiting van and they drove off out of the compound. They drove for a while on the expressway, but instead of going to the airport, the driver entered a bush path. The bush was so thick that Uju became afraid. The forest soon swallowed the car as they left civilization and was heading into the unknown. Madame Philo said we were going to Italy. But why are we taking the bush path? Why are we not going by air? Are we not supposed to be heading to the airport? Uju asked herself. She was worried, and so she decided to express her feelings to Madame Philo. Please, ma, where are we going to? This place is a thick bush. The driver is supposed to take us to the airport, and there is no airport in this area. What's going on, please? Uju asked Madame Philo. Madame Philo did not answer her. Instead, she asked the driver to stop the van, and he did. How dare you ask me questions? Are you the one taking me to Italy, or am I the one taking you there? Do you know me? Do you know the road to Italy? Don't ever open your dirty mouth to speak until you are spoken to. Madame Philo said to Uju, who got scared because Madame Philo was holding a gun as she talked. She made sure everyone in the car saw her gun, and all of them got scared and no one dared to speak up again. What have I gotten myself into? In serious trouble. I hope I have not just jumped from frying pan to fire. Uju said to herself as the driver restarted the car and continued driving deeper into the bush. I don't even know where this woman is taking us to. I would have just remained at the hotel where I was earning 20k in peace. I may not know much, but I definitely know that this is not the road to Italy. She seems to be a dangerous person. I didn't even know that the woman has a gun. How will I rescue myself from this situation? Uju asked herself. She was secretly crying as she realized that Madame Philo may not be taking them to Italy. The worst part was there was nothing she could do about the situation. Madame Philo was armed and none of the ladies in the bus had any weapon. They kept moving until they burst out of a place that looks like a town. Uju was educated, so she tried to see if there were any signposts that would give her a clue of where they were. The bus entered a major expressway and was speeding really fast. Uju had her eyes fixed on the roadside, desperately searching for a signpost to read. She wanted to know exactly where they are. This place looks like a big town. I'm seeing a lot of people and building, but where is this exactly? Uju asked herself. She wanted to ask Madame Philo the name of the city, but she was scared of the woman, so she kept watching the roadside carefully, hoping that she would see a signboard with something that she could read. It looked like everything was written in French language. Are we in France? Did she bring us to France instead of Italy? Maybe she wants us to cross into Italy from France. But how did we enter France so fast? This place may just be a French-speaking town, no? Uju said in her heart as she kept searching for a clearer signboard with information. Soon, the bus stopped at a traffic light. That was an opportunity for Uju to read the signboards properly. Uju's eyes fell on a particular signboard that read, "Welcome to Benin Republic." It was written in French but also interpreted in English. Uju was shocked. Maybe the flight ticket from Nigeria to Italy is too expensive and Madame Philo wants to fly us from Benin Republic. Well, that's a good idea if that is what she wants, Uju said to herself. She was hoping her instincts were right, but she had doubts. The driver soon negotiated a roundabout after the traffic lights turned green. He branched into a street that looked quiet and unoccupied by many people. Uju could only see a few people and a few vehicles, and they all looked expensive. There were no commercial buses or taxis in the area. There were beautiful flowers aligning the road. When Uju looked around, she could see many high-rise buildings that looked as if they belonged to billionaires. This is a rich neighborhood. What are we doing here? There is no airport in this area and we cannot possibly be flying to Italy from here, Uju asked herself. The bus soon entered a compound and parked under a shed. The compound had a mansion in it. The mansion was even bigger than the one Madame Philo built in Nigeria. Does this mansion belong to Madame Philo? Uju thought to herself. As soon as they came out of the bus, she looked around and saw a sign on the building that read, "Welcome to Madame Philo's hotel." Oh, she owns the hotel here. Maybe she wants us to pass the night here so that we'll fly to Italy tomorrow. Nice one. That's a good idea. Uju said to herself as they were ushered into the beautiful hotel. The hotel was a 7-story building which easily stood out in the neighborhood. It was easily the most beautiful building in the area. It had more than 100 rooms, which were tastefully furnished with modern things to give comfort. Uju was surprised when she was given her own room. It was a suite. "This is your room. Everything you need is in this room. You must never leave the hotel without permission from Madame Philo. You are to stay here and do whatever you are told. You're not allowed to ask questions or disobey instructions. This is $1,000 for you. You are expected to use this money and order good clothes, make yourself beautiful, and get ready for the job you have come here to do. Someone will come to help you buy the things that you need, because you are not allowed to go out." A stern-looking young man told Uju. The man did not allow Uju to say anything before leaving the room. Uju kept wondering how she was going to stay in the compound without ever going out. She also wondered the kind of job she was going to be doing for Madame Philo. She was not happy. Since they arrived at the hotel, she has not seen any of the other ladies who were in the bus with her. Everyone was given a separate room just like Uju, and they were not allowed to see or interact with each other. She had also not seen Madame Philo. She was in charge of the hotel, but she had people running things for her. She only came out when there was a problem that her servants could not handle. Uju managed to take her bath in the modern bathroom of the apartment. There was a beautiful dressing table and there were makeup items. Her suite had many things that Uju liked, but she held herself back. She refused to feel at home yet. "I can't start enjoying things when I'm here to find out what I'm here to do. This woman says she's taking us to Italy, but I'm suspecting foul play," Uju said in her heart. It was already 6 p.m. and she was yet to eat. "I'm so hungry. How can this woman bring us here without giving us food? The hotel where I worked in Nigeria, I got food 3 times a day. Since we left, I've not even tasted water." Soon, Uju had a knock on the door. The person entered. It was the waiter who had earlier welcomed her to the hotel and given her the rose. "Good evening, Uju. I'm glad you're making yourself feel at home already. You look beautiful. Please always use the makeup kits. They are all yours. It's as if you even know that it is time for work. And I was just coming to tell you to get ready. But I'm glad that you're set," the waiter said. "I'm not ready. How can I be ready when I've not eaten? And I don't even know the type of work I'm going to do or when I'm supposed to resume. No one is telling me anything. If I don't eat, how do you expect me to work?" Uju asked aggressively. The waiter did not react with the seriousness Uju expected. He understood how Uju was feeling. He knew it was just a matter of time before she would calm down. He had handled a lot of women like her at the hotel. "Well, don't bother about the job you're going to do. You will soon find out. As for food, you'll be given food to eat after you finish working tonight," the waiter replied. "Where is the work now? Let me do it so that I can get the food. I've not eaten anything since morning. Besides, where is Madame Philo? I want to ask her some questions. I want to see her without delay," Uju said with anger. "I'm done with you. When the job comes, you will know. Forget about Madame Philo. You will not be seeing her regularly. Just focus on your job," the waiter said and left. Uju started crying. She felt like a lost child. She cried so much that her eyes were swollen. "What have I gotten myself into? I would have remained in Nigeria to earn my 20k monthly with peace of mind. I've not even had anything to eat since morning. How am I going to leave this place?" Uju asked herself in tears. As she was still talking to herself, she had a knock on the door. She quickly wiped her tears, stood up and opened the door. Uju came face to face with a tall man who looked old. The old man was with the waiter who had just left Uju's room a while ago. When the old man entered into the room, the waiter stayed outside. "Attend to him. Make sure you treat him well, oh. This man here is a very important customer to the hotel. Madame Philo will not be happy if the man complains about you," the waiter told Uju and locked the door. "I don't understand. What do you mean I should attend to him and make him happy?" Uju tried asking, but the waiter had already locked the door and left.
Uju was now alone with the old man. When the waiter left Uju's apartment, she felt awkward with the old man, who immediately started making moves towards her. But Uju did not want an old man to touch her. She reasoned that this old man must be up to 70 years, and she wondered why such an old man would be at a hotel looking for a young woman to touch. "Don't touch me, please. Go and look for your age mate to touch. Are you not married? You should be with your wife. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You're old enough to be my father. Please leave this room immediately," Uju said to the old man. But the old man was experienced in the game. It was not the first time he was visiting the hotel, and he had always encountered ladies like Uju. The old man did not say anything. Instead, he made his move again. Uju resisted him once again. Uju was bent on not allowing him have his way. However, the old man came prepared. He was not going to take no for an answer, because he paid a lot of money to spend a night with Uju at the hotel, and he was not going to get any refund from Madame Philo. To spend the night with any of Madame Philo's girls cost $3,000. The hotel was for rich men looking for young women. He came to enjoy himself, and he was ready to get his enjoyment one way or the other. "I told you to stay away from me. Go and look for a woman of your age to be with this night," Uju said. Her voice kept getting louder and aggressive, but the old man did not even pay her any attention. "Do you know how much I paid to be in this room this night? You better cooperate with me to avoid huge consequences. I will have to take serious actions against you. Don't try me." Uju was not ready to give in to the demands of the old man. She was angry when she heard that the man paid a huge amount of money to be with her. "So I am now a marketable commodity. The money that you paid was not given to me. Go to Madame Philo and collect your money back, or go to Madame Philo and sleep in her room," Uju said with anger. The man's temper flared up. He stood up from the sofa and picked his briefcase. He opened it and brought out a gun. "I have a way of handling people like you," the old man said. He pointed the gun at Uju and ordered her to lie down on the couch. "If this is how you want it, with violence, I came ready. I told you I paid money to enjoy myself, and you are joking with me. When you were coming to Benin Republic, didn't you know what you signed up for? If you were not told, well, I'm going to teach you your job this night. And mind you, if anything happens to you, nothing will be heard about you. Your parents will not even know. Madame Philo will just throw your body away. You better give me what I paid for," the old man said. Uju kept looking at him in fear, trying to decide what to do after she saw the gun. Uju had always been a brave lady even as a child, and tonight she was prepared to be brave to defend herself, but she was going to do it wisely. She knew that the old man could shoot her and there would be no consequences. "Please, sir, put the gun down. I'm going to give you what you want. You can do it as many times as you want," Uju said to the old man. The old man's face softened a little bit. Uju started making seductive gestures to show that she was serious with her promise of making him happy. When the old man saw her moves, he lost control over his senses. Uju was totally able to capture his imagination and disarm him. He gradually lowered the gun. Instead of putting the gun back into his briefcase, he dropped it on the sofa and started removing his clothes. In his mind, he was getting ready to eat honey, but Uju was just deceiving the old man. "The next step is to make him move away from the gun," Uju said in her heart. She continued to make attractive moves, which confused the old man further, making him lower his guards completely. The old man was smiling happily when he saw Uju's moves. "Don't worry, I will give you more money. I know that Madame Philo does not pay people well, but you are with a rich man. You will benefit greatly if you make me happy tonight. When I make a transfer to you, you will know I'm not joking," the old man said. "You're just saying that to deceive me," Uju replied to the old man in a sly manner. "Do you have a bank account? Let me prove to you that I'm not lying." "Yes, you should send the money to me before the action. If you do me well, I will also do you well," Uju said to the old man. The old man immediately took his briefcase and brought out his phone. He tapped on his banking app. "Put your account number here," he said to Uju. Uju typed her account number into the phone and the man transferred $2,000 to her. She was so overwhelmed with joy. Now let's get down to action, Uju said as she stood up and started walking towards the bedroom. The old man followed her. Uju saw that the man was not wearing anything. She slowed down a little and allowed the man to be in front. Then she brought out her phone camera and video recorded the man. She went ahead to grab the gun which the old man left on the sofa. "Stop there. Don't move," Uju shouted in a loud voice. The old man froze. He turned and saw that Uju was pointing a gun at him and he became scared. "Are you joking or what? I thought we were becoming friendly with each other. I just sent you some money and I was hoping to make you my permanent girlfriend. Why are you now pointing a gun at me? If this is a joke, stop it," the old man said to Uju. "Take your clothes and leave this room. Do not return. For your information, I have captured a video of you and I have it in my phone. If you tell anyone what happened here tonight, I will share the video on the internet. Don't dare me," Uju said to the old man. "Do you know who you are joking with?" the old man asked angrily. "I don't care. I just want you out of my room right now. Pick your clothes and start going," Uju ordered the old man. The old man was afraid of dying. He picked his clothes and left. "You will pay dearly for this," he said as Uju closed the door. A few minutes later, the waiter arrived to speak with Uju. "Did you make the customer happy?" the waiter asked. "Of course, yes. Did he complain when he came out?" Uju asked curiously. "No, he didn't." "Well, get ready for another job. You will attend to 3 customers tonight before you will be allowed to sleep," the waiter said to Uju. But I just finished one. I have still not eaten anything. How do you want me to attend to 3 people without eating? Do you want me to die? Why are you people being so heartless? You should not be treating people like this," Uju said with an emotional voice. "Don't worry. I have brought your food. And please, Madam Philo is not wicked. I am not wicked as well. We'll treat you well as far as you do your job. You only have issues if you do not cooperate with us," the waiter said. Uju took the plate of food from the waiter and started eating hungrily. She finished eating her food, cleaned up again and reapplied her makeup. She even looked more beautiful and stunning than before. Uju had come to accept the fact that Madam Philo's hotel was a dangerous place and there was no way she would escape so soon. It would take her a while to plan. Her encounter with the old man taught her that she was only going to survive at the hotel if she was tough. She vowed within her heart that no man would touch her throughout her stay in the hotel. The waiter had told her that another customer was coming and she was waiting for that customer. Uju went to the bedside and positioned her phone camera in a hidden place. She brought out the gun she had collected from the old man who first visited her. "I will use this gun to my advantage," Uju said to herself. She sat on the bed and waited for the customer. She hid the gun under the pillow. It was not long before the next customer came in. This time around, it was a young man. As soon as he came in, he moved to the bedside and started removing his clothes. As he was removing his clothes, Uju's hidden camera was capturing him. But before he could touch her, Uju threatened him with a gun, took his money and sent him out with a strict warning to never come back. Few minutes later, she had a knock on the door. She knew it would be the next customer. She rushed to the bed and adjusted her phone camera in a hidden place and put the gun back under the pillow. "He's coming. You're welcome to Madam Philo's hotel. I'm here to make you happy," Uju said to the tall man who entered her room. The man did not say anything. He looked angry. As soon as the man entered the room, he started removing his clothes just like the other men who visited Uju. He didn't even respond to her greetings. When he finished removing his clothes, he walked up to Uju and grabbed her. He carried her and dropped her on the bed like a piece of wood. He tried to touch Uju, but she resisted. This particular man liked feisty women, so he even became more aggressive. The man was so aggressive that he could injure Uju. He was almost having his way. She immediately pulled out the gun from under the pillow. In the heat of the moment, Uju pointed the gun at the man's head and pulled the trigger. the bullet went straight into the man's head.